Hey everyone, Layla Emily here. I'm going to take this cup, has an opening already made, it's a double wall tumbler, and I'm going to add these pretty flowers in here. I was going to try and use my funnel, but the funnel is a little too small to fit these through. So, in that respect, I'm gonna have to do it by hand, unless I use a little bit larger funnel. I don't know if this funnel will work. Let me see if this will go through. Nope, that funnel doesn't work. So I'm going to have to go one by one and push them through. I know they go down the side. Once I get them down here, then once I get that done, I'll add a little bit of floating media so they can float. I will use my funnel to add a bit of glitter. So I'm going to want some glitter in with this to make it sparkle. It's going to take a little bit of time to get all of these flowers through. But it's going to look so nice once the flowers do finally all get through and the liquid media goes in. I want to make sure that I have a good selection of colors here. And I'll just push these aside to make room for other flowers to get through. Just center this a little bit better so you can see the flowers going through. I've got some greens. I want some oranges. I want a whole different selection of colors. maybe some quiet times while I'm inserting the flowers. If this is the first time you've been to my channel, welcome. I appreciate your viewing my artistic creations. If you like what you see and you want to see more, please subscribe to my channel. I would appreciate if you do enjoy my videos. Please give me a thumbs up. It will help my channel grow. I have been kind of absent from my channel, but I want to come back and do some more. Gonna look nice. Put some more in. These beads I got, they were on clearance at Hobby Lobby. They came in a bag like this. There were 2 bags on the shelf. I think they were originally designed for making bracelets, but I could see the use for them in what I wanted to do. I thought they had a lot of uses. Going in the tumblers is just one of my ideas. Just put the flowers in till we get high, then we'll add some liquid and then add some more flowers. I'm going to use glycerin and distilled water. Along with some glitter. Okay, let's move some of these down. We're filling up my small, narrow opening site. Once they get down along the sides, there's plenty of room but you need to get down there. I like this orange. It gives a kind of a sharper color, and the red too. I didn't want it to be a pastel type of a tumbler. I want it to be standing out. So the colors are really stand outish. I want it to be bright and happy. When you drink from this tumbler, I want it to be just a good, happy feeling. There we go. Add some more. I know this may seem a little tedious to watch, but it's worth it. I'm using a little Cricut tool to help me move these and place these how I want to place them to get them down below and off to the side. And I want to make sure that these go evenly around all the sides. They're going to be so pretty. And I'll find a nice floral pattern to put on the outside of the glass. Go. Now I'm going to add a little bit of liquid. I have glycerin. vegetable glycerin, which I'm going to add to a cup. I'm going to mix even amounts of the glycerin and the distilled water. I'm going to start with a small amount first. The distilled water. Into the cup. And I'm going to put this in with a smaller funnel. Let me get my smaller funnel here. I want to be very careful with pouring this. Slowly here. Some of it seeped outside. We want to go slow. I'll just tilt this a little bit so you can see the liquid. And I'm going to add some more. Slowly. Add just a little more water to that glycerin on the bottom. And I'm going to add a little bit of glitter have some chunky glitter. This is Crafter's Square. This is very flyaway, this glitter. And we're gonna slowly pour in the solution with the glitter. Slowly go in. I don't have my pokey tool here with me. I'm going to make sure the glitter moves down the funnel. Since this is chunky glitter, it's kind of sticking to the funnel. And of course, like I said, the glitter seems to have a mind of its own, and it needs to be kind of pushed to go down there. Okay. Going to add some more liquid. Just I'll clean this up in a little bit. That was as much of the chunky glitter as I'm going to add. So now I'm going to just mix the glycerin and the distilled water. I'm just going to pour them separately. Just to give them a little bit of ease in the pouring. Okay, let me put my funnel in here. The glycerin goes very slowly, and there was a little bit of the thick glitter left in the funnel. So let's just kind of push that out so the glycerin can come through. There we go. Let's pour a little more. And a little more. Okay. I'm just going to add a little bit of my white glitter. Very pretty. This is a Walmart brand that I just love because the color is just so nice. It has a nice shine to it. And that'll just give a nice little shine, sparkle in the cup. To add to the combination. As we see, this is filling. I see that the white glitter is moving down in with the mixture. It's making a nice addition. To the flowers. And again, I'm just going to remind the liquid, just give it a little nudge down the funnel to remind it to move down there into the solution. And we add a little bit more of the distilled water. Just mix that together a little bit. Go. The solution is filling up. Everything seems to be moving down quite nicely. A little bit of overspillage here from earlier, which I'm going to wipe off. I'm going to add a little bit more, but I just want you to see how nice this looks. With the chunky glitter and the flowers. I'll have to clean this off once I'm done because I did have the spillage on the side. But that white glitter leaves an extra little sparkle in there. Let me finish filling it, and then I'll clean it off. Just wipe this off. Okay. We'll add just a little bit more water. Just the distilled water this time. And we want it to flow easily. Because you can see it's coming all the way up to the top now. And I want to make sure that there's no air bubbles. You're gonna see there will be air bubbles, and you just want to add the liquid in to the side. Have the air bubbles right near the top so you can let the air out as you're filling it with the liquid. You don't want the liquid to come out. You want the air bubbles right there, so the air bubbles can come out as you're putting in more liquid. Kind of a delicate procedure. As you can see, where the air bubble is. To go really slowly. So I don't want the water come out. I want the air to come out. Because if you look at this, up at the top, you're going to see the air bubble at the top, right here. And we want that as minimal as possible. The air to come out and just the liquid to go in and to fill the space where the air bubble was. Just a little bit more liquid. Then I'm going to put the cap on. Just going to wipe it with this. I'm going to dry it with this cloth. Then I'm going to wipe it with the alcohol pad. And I'm going to take this little plug that came with the tumbler, and I'm going to plug it in the bottom of the tumbler. Okay, and here we have just a little bit of an air bubble. I'm going to clean this off. And then I'm going to seal the bottom with resin. But it definitely needs to be cleaned off first. Because the glycerin is very sticky and it's not going to allow us to, it's not going to allow the resin to adhere to the bottom of the container with it sticky from the glycerin. It's just too sticky. So I will be back and we'll seal the bottom and then we will So I've given this a little bit of time, and now I'm going to take some resin. I'm going to make sure that it's smoothed all the way across here. I'm going to get my light. I'm going to turn on my light. I'm going to hold my light for 99 seconds. And then I'll flip it over and I will light the light from the bottom so it goes through the glass, through the cup, and it will cure it from the other side. I may do a second little bit just around the area where the plug is, just to make sure, because I don't want any of the liquid leaking out. That's a problem with this light. It goes off. Why does it? It turns off on its own. But it turns back on. It's very finicky. I may have to just hold it. I'll be back when it's done. So I've given this a little bit of time, and now I'm going to take some resin. I'm going to make sure that it's smoothed all the way across here. gonna get my light. I'm gonna turn on my light. I'm gonna hold my light for 99 seconds. And then I'll flip it over and I will light the light from the bottom so it goes through the glass, through the cup, and it will cure it from the other side. I may do a second little bit just around the area where the plug is, just to make sure, because I don't want any of the liquid leaking out. That's a problem with this light. It goes off. Why does it? It turns off on its own. But it turns back on. It's very finicky. I may have to just hold it. I'll be back when it's done. So now the glass is ready. I'm going to put it here. This is the print that I picked for it. And the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take some alcohol. I'm going to clean the outside of the glass. I'm going to take an alcohol wipe and just go around the outside of the glass. To make sure that the glass is clean. Then I'm going to, I need some tape here. I'm going to wrap this print around the outside of the glass to make sure that it's even. So I'm going to take a little piece of tape And a little piece of tape on the bottom. So this will fit perfectly. Then I'm going to take my scissors and I'm going to cut a little bit off the edge here. So this will lay flat. This is a different kind of DTF. So I've not worked with this one before. The backing is a little bit more difficult. So I have to be extra careful with it. I don't want to take any chances. I'm just going to cut across a small area. This came off here. Let's make sure this is even. Okay. Now, I'm going to take the tape off. And I'm going to go through, and I'm going to peel the backing off. And as I peel the backing off, of course I will rotate the cup, and I will make sure that there are no air bubbles underneath the flowers. This is very important. A little bit more of the backing off. Rubbing this down as I go. I like to use my little Cricut tool because this has always worked good for me. Next, just going to check around and make sure that there are no air bubbles. And then I'm going to peel back slowly and carefully the top layer. Let me turn this towards you so you can see better. I'm going to turn slowly and carefully the top layer watching to make sure that there's no air bubbles on here. And as I go, I will make sure there's just a little bit of backing here from the other end. This is from the bottom of the decal. This comes off, and there you have it. Isn't that pretty? All the little flowers. That is absolutely beautiful. Thank you for viewing my video. If you like what you see and you want to see more, please subscribe and give me a thumbs up. That really helps my channel a lot. And there will be more. I have a bamboo wood top that comes with the cup. She's beautiful. Okay, thank you for watching my video. Thank you for staying all the way to the end. I will see you back for more videos.